Hey guys, Donna with donnellsstitchery here, and as I promised, this is my first edition of my weekly updates on things I've gotten completed, things I have been working on over the last week, and especially my EPP, English paper piecing project, which is a whole new adventure for me, and I'm just telling you right now, I am absolutely loving this new adventure. It is fun, it is relaxing, it gives me great handwork to do, and I've already gotten so many ideas of things I can create and do with these pieces. So let me jump right into this. So here you will see one of the items I've been working on my live streams. Now, since I have one of my other big items completed, I can really get busy working on this, get knocking this thing out quickly because I only need a total of like I think it was 30 blocks and we got 4 done, which means I only need, and that's if my calculations are correct. They could be wrong. Don't hold me to the 30 because it could be wrong. It could just wind up being 20. It might actually be 20 because it might my calculations may be off, but we'll see. And then here, yep, this hand. Here is a block that I have recently done last night. I was playing around with some scraps that I have because well, I am part of the squirrel group over at Handmade by Ying with Donna. And some of us got together and decided we're going to do a swap block. And so I started on my last night playing around with some HSTs that I already had completed. Let's see here. I do not have any of them close by, otherwise I would show you. So, yep, I don't have any right here by me, so otherwise I would show you, but, oh, actually, let me grab the block. So I decided to make just a scrappy block, and I'm using my scraps that I've had for like forever. And when I was going through my bins trying to figure out what I was going to do, I decided, well, why not use something that I already have? All out of scraps, so that way there everybody has a little bit of love from me and everything from projects I've already created. So I had these HSTs here that were already sewn together. All I had to do is trim them to the size I needed. There were two jelly roll strips that were already sewn together side by side. So I cut them into triangles and then opened them up, pressed them, trimmed them down to the size I needed, made 2 pinwheels. I had put on there, I used a Sharpie pen and wrote on there and then set the ink so that don't got to worry about it running. I did donnellsstitchery with a cute little heart underneath there. Each one will have something different about it. So that way there, some may have heart prints, some may have hearts, some may have a couple of hearts. You never know. And then I put the city and state that I'm in, 2025 squirrel block swap. And these are all 12.5 inch unfinished or 12-inch finished. So I got this all done. Well, I got this one here, which was my tester block, and this will be one of the ones that goes out. So if you sign up for that, that might just wind up being your block from me. Next up, I finished up, well, I posted a video this morning of my Dusty Rose Wild West cotton cuts. And this Aitan had posted a video of. It was my first segment of my video where Aitan had ordered a layer cake of the Joy by Laundry basket quilts for Andover Fabrics. I'll link that in the description box below, as well as a link to everything I'm discussing today. So this here I will put in the description box of what I'm planning on doing with that quilt, because right now they're still just blocks. So I'm taking you guys for along for the adventure of everything I'm going to do with that. And let's see, we talked about the scroll stuff, about the chain link videos, which I will link those videos down below. Now, the fun stuff. So June 1st, I believe it's June 1st. Let me double check my date really quick. So let's see here. June 7th. So June 7th, I am going to be starting. I'm going to kick it off on my live stream on June 7th. I am going to be starting my video of my so long. I am going to be doing the Donna Jordan free pattern Painted Meadow by Robin Pickens, Moda Fabrics. It's an 18-inch block. I will link the link it the pattern down below. It is a free pattern, and I'm going to be doing it from my stash. I'm going to be giving my audience options, fabric options, and whatever my viewers decide upon, that's what I'll be doing it with. So I want this something to be where you guys are helping me to create these designs and everything. I'm going to give you the fabric options. And I'm going to walk you through on how I go about normally picking stuff. Because I'm going to do this step by step, slowly, of how I pick patterns, how I pick the fabrics, how I try to decide what goes where. This one here, I did have some help on picking the pattern that I chose since it's a free pattern. Michelle Krasimore. She is one of my viewers, one of my moderators. I call her my ride or die. She is one of my best friends. I love her to death. I was on a Zoom meeting with her, and I know that she does not have a lot of experience. Where I like to pick patterns that challenge me. I'm like, I want a very, very beginner friendly, easy, simple, beautiful block to do where you could be able to do it. If you want to just do, say, 4 blocks, it would be done, one and done, and it's gorgeous. It could be a gorgeous baby quilt. And so, I'm like, I really want her to do this with me, as well as everyone else that wants to do it with me. But it'd be something fun for me and her to do as a sew along. So I decided I'm bringing her along with me for the trip. And so, yeah, I let her help pick the pattern. We discussed multiple different patterns. I made sure we only chose patterns off of the Donna Jordan free pattern section. So that way there, because I want to make this as least expensive as possible for all of my viewers, for anyone that wants to do this with me. So that will be kicking off June 7th. Make sure you write that down. Actually, let me write that down too on my little post-it note right here on my laptop. Otherwise, I'll forget what date I told you guys. And that is a date that we will be kicking it off on my live stream. All the rest of the videos after that will all be off of my, will all be recorded. And you'll just have to put your remarks and your ideas and options or thoughts and everything into the video chat and everything. And then towards the end, we'll do another live stream so that way that I can walk you through, or if anyone has questions, I can answer questions, whatever that you guys feel like. May 31st, there will be a Zoom meeting. I am having one of my online sales, but I'm not doing it on my online stream. This one here is going to be completely set up completely different. Payment options will still be the same. There will be Cash App, there will be PayPal, and there will be through my normal Square Up process where I email you the invoice and you click a button and pay it through there. And which you can also try and do that by using or pay it through there. If you want to use Cash App, that is an option on my invoice. But if you want PayPal, there will be a box on the register or on the order form where you can select whether you want to do PayPal or Cash App or invoice. So that is all an option right there. But that's the only options I'm offering because I don't want to try to keep track of 30,000 different things. Sneak peek. Michelle's crashing more is selling stuff too on my sales. So make sure you come because she's already working her hiney off to try and get stuff ready and come back Wednesday night for this week, the 7th, for a little update. And because Michelle's Krasimore will be my guest this Wednesday night, where we are going to talk about this and give you guys all the juicy details of things that we're going to be selling, because we both got a lot of things that we have ideas on and what we want to do and make, and she's already way ahead of me, as per usual. So come on back and hang out with us Wednesday night, 6:30 p.m. And so my EPP project, English paper piecing. So the difference between FPP, foundation paper piecing, and EPP is the fact that English paper piecing is done by hand. FPP, foundation paper piecing, is done by machine. And so let me bring it down to the desk. Hey. So Zaza knew that I was interested in trying EPP. So she sent me a bunch of these little 1-inch cardstock hexagons. They are absolutely amazing to work with. This is so easy, guys. Anybody could do this. I swear, if I can do it, anybody can do it. So, and I found out that if you take a 2.5-inch square, if you want to just take it by the 2.5-inch square, you can. You just fold it over, and once you get 2 folds over, you try and do a little stitching right there to hold it. You could also glue it down. I chose to do a quick little basting stitch. So over this last week that I've been playing with this and working on this. Oh, and also let me show you guys something. So there is a template set called Quilt Scents by Marty Mitchell. I believe I bought these on Amazon a while ago. They have an entire collection here of hexies. I found out that this center one, inside that line there is, let me move these 2 larger ones away because I got the 2-inch, the 3-inch, and the 1-inch. These here are the 1-inch. Turns out this here is the exact same size as my cardstock that Zaza sent me. So, which means technically all I gotta do is cut it to this size here. I did try that. I was not wild and crazy about the lack of the fabric being folded over on that. Let me see if I can't find one where I did it with that. I think it's over here in my other stack here. Well, anyways, yeah. So it didn't leave like a whole lot of fabric whenever I folded it over, especially if I was slightly off on one side, like if it tried and slightly moved up this way while I was stitching down this side here, then it didn't leave you much fabric over here. So what I decided to do was I started putting this down on the fabric here. And I got it all lined up nice and neatly as much as I possibly could right there. And I just cut like this big excess off over here. But I didn't cut it right up against the template. I left a little bit. So it's like I would wind up cutting like kind of like right there. So it's like I got a little extra wiggle room there. And that really helped me out quite a bit on doing this because it just made it make sense to my brain. So then I started taking some of my scraps and making up some. And then I kept making some up. And I've kept making some up. And see, I like to do the basting stitch. I try and do a knot right there. Or I do a knot over here. I go in, do a knot. Then I cut, then instead of doing any stitching here, I do a knot. And then I do another knot. And then another hoopty hoop. And then another hoopty hoop. And then back over here to the end. And I make a knot. And that way there it's nice and secure around my paper. And you leave the paper in. And then I kept doing it some more. And more. And we kept doing it some more. And some more. Oh, there, we got a loose thread. And then I even decided to do some black ones. Because I'm like, I got leftover fabric from my black ones. And then I kept doing it some more. And that's a very pale pink. And then we kept doing it some more. And I kept doing it some more. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun. And yeah, I can't seem to stop on this. I just cannot seem to stop. And I don't know what to tell you guys, but I am 1000% completely addicted. And then I was like, my bag is starting to get, my little pouch that I'm using is starting to get full of all of these. So I should probably go ahead and start creating something with these. So then I decided, okay, well, we're going to play around with some and see what we come out with. So then I try and start of like, okay, well, a hexagon has 6 sides, which means I need 6 hexagons to go around the one. So I'm like, well, let's start playing with different colors and see what I want to put together. So then I kind of came up with this here, and this one, and this one, and this one, and my latest one today is this one. And so, yeah, so it turns out all in all, I have created a grand total so far of 87 of these hexagons in a week. Not even a week, because it wasn't even a week ago that I started doing this. And I already have a bunch more cut out. And then I got a bunch more of these 2.5 inch squares cut out, because then I realized I happened to remembered after I did the first like 30 by hand that I have an AccuQuilt cutter with a 2.5 inch die. So I'm starting to take my scraps now and cut them all up into 2.5 inches. And as I get ready to do it, I'm getting it busy on doing up all of this. So welcome to my new little world. If you guys would like to see me do this on a live stream on, say, a Sunday, since Sundays is when I do my handwork, then let me know in the description box below, and I will try and do this on a Sunday. Instead of the hand quilting, I would do that. Now, I only have one other thing to discuss, and that is my most recent, as of like 9 o'clock last night, completed project. I am super excited, guys, because I completed that commission quilt. It is the one that I have been working on the foundation paper piece, stashing blocks, or flying keys with stashing blocks. Look at my completed quilt, guys. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? And yes, please, please, please ignore the fact that the top corner is all rippled over and you can see grass up at the top of the quilt, because this thing is so huge, because he asked for a king size quilt. This quilt here is so huge that my customer had asked for a king size quilt. This is officially the largest quilt I have ever made. I have not even checked to see what it measures yet, going across or up and down. But because that is a 10-inch border of that green going around the outside, those stack of 4 flying keys with sashing blocks are 8.5 by 8.5, unfinished. And then you got the first cavalry patch dead center. And my husband and son had to hold this up sideways outside, and then I had to do a rotation of it on Google in order to get it to this orientation for you guys. But I hope you guys have liked everything that I have shown you guys. This has been an extremely fun week. I have gotten a lot done this week, and I got a lot more to do. So make sure you guys come back and hang out with me. Let me know in the description box if you would like to see me do the EPP, and I can definitely try and get that taken care of. I do know that I have asked Zaza if she would like to come on to a live stream with me on a Sunday to do handwork, and she said yes, just waiting for a date to work on our schedule together. Um, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy all of this. Let me know if you have ever done EPP, and if you would like me to do a video or to do a live stream on it on a Sunday morning, because that would be a lot of fun. So talk to y'all later. Bye.